Number 28.
Please stand for the pledges, a moment of silence.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state under God, one and indivisible.
Thank you. Today for lunch we are having popcorn chicken with mashed potatoes, corn, carrots, and roll with pineapple or strawberries.
That sounds good. I wish I didn't bring my lunch. The coach for this week is spending today complaining about yesterday won't make today any better.
And now it's time for our announcements. There are no birthdays today.
Don't forget tomorrow you will dress up in your Halloween costume of your choice to spook the Hornets, but make sure it's school appropriate. Now let's send it over to Officer Rivas
To answer our questions about substance abuse in Lorena.
Hey everyone, Officer Rivas here. I was glad to receive the invitation to participate in this year's Red Ribbon Week campaign. I did receive the list of questions that y'all had regarding my experiences and dealings with, drug and alcohol abuse through our community. So the first question y'all had was, how prevalent is the drug and alcohol abuse in our community? So drugs and alcohol have been around for quite some time, so it spans multi-generations of families and people. So we do have our fair share of calls that are related to it. So the two types of calls that we prevalently see as some sort of domestic disturbance situation where somebody's fighting or arguing or something like that, and typically one or more people have been under the influence of some sort of drug or alcohol, which adds a little bit more fuel to the fire. The second type, is some sort of a medical call where somebody's ingested some alcohol or some sort of drug or narcotic that ends up landing them in a hospital. So those types of things that we see a lot. So the second question is, how does our location on I-35 affect our town? Interstate 35 runs through the middle of Lorena, and so we're easily accessible through the interstate. Interstate 35 runs, all the way through the United States, which brings a lot of people that travel on that roadway. So with more people traveling the roadway, it brings up the chances of somebody on that roadway, driving under the influence of, drugs or alcohol or something like that. It also allows, other people that move or transport large amounts of, drugs or narcotics to come through our area. We have seized about 900 pounds of marijuana one night off the interstate. So it's out there and traveling through our community. The third question you'll have is, what is my greatest concern for high school students right now? My greatest concern is the more socially acceptable use of drugs and alcohol and tobacco and stuff like that, where it would make somebody that normally wouldn't, drink alcohol or take drugs or smoke tobacco or anything like that to use it. So my advice is to be educated about these types of things and to make that right choice. So the fourth question y'all had is what is something that I have seen that I cannot forget? One thing that sticks in my mind, and it happened several years ago, was related to a drunk driver. It was a vehicle that was coming back, had 3 young men in there. They were coming back from a club in Temple Killeen area, and they had been drinking. Well, the driver had lost control of the vehicle, which rolled. While the vehicle was rolling, it ejected the rear passenger. The rear passenger was in pretty bad shape, and he ended up not making it. The thing that sticks with me the most is having to stand there with that young man in the graphic state that he was in, and knowing there was nothing that we can do to save his life. So that just kind of sticks with me, and how those types of situations, impacted my own personal choices. it opens your eyes to seeing the bad side of all of this stuff. And the last thing that you ever want to do is to be put in that type of situation. So the message that I want to leave y'all with is these things can lead down a pretty dark road, to where y'all can get hurt or hurt somebody else if you participate. So I know all of y'all are very smart. Make those right decisions and leave all those bad things behind and lead a successful life. So again, I appreciate the opportunity to share my experiences with all of y'all. If y'all ever have any questions or any concerns or like that, I'm always available. You can come ask for me, and I'll be more than happy to come sit down with anyone that has questions. Thank y'all very much.
Football and cross country also had pictures this morning, so I hope all of y'all had good smiles.
Today is National Chocolate Day.
Delicious.
Now let's talk about how to wear your mask appropriately.
Be sure your mask is over your nose, and also your mask should not be off unless you're drinking water or eating at lunch. Be sure to pull up your mask when you go to throw away your food or to go outside.
The importance of wearing your mask is so you can keep you and other people healthy.
And now let's send it over to the sports.
Tomorrow we have a game against Caldwell, so don't forget to spook the Hornets.
Good luck, boys! Offensive, Brandon Gilliam.
Big hit of the week, Zachary Taylor.
Defense, Parker Bottoms.
Top gun of the week, Brody DeLeon.
And Wild Leopard of the week, Alex Munoz.
Now let's send it over to the weather.
Thank you. Today is a high of 62 and a low of 48 and rainy.
And now let's send it over to the special.
This week is Red Ribbon Week, and we're going to be asking kids what makes them happy, so you can do things that make you happy instead of doing drugs.
Jesus and my dog.
Playing sports makes me happy.
I would say probably anything like competition based, either coaching or competing myself. Just getting after it, there's no better feeling than that.
My natural high is when all my family is in town for the holidays.
My natural high is sports.
I'm Noah, I play bass.
I'm Sydney and I sing.
I'm Jamie, I play guitar and sing.
I'm Graham, I play drums.
And we are Ecosmith.
This is not the end. There's no apocalypse. And all those kids were full of it.
We grew up all playing music our whole lives, and it was always a really integral part of the way we did things and the way we interacted with each other, and even like the way we communicated things with people. And it was this whole new way of like saying something that maybe isn't as easy to say. And music's really cool. It opens that door for communicating things that like shouldn't be talked about, but you kind of can with music. I don't know, you get away with more when it's in a song. And so it's always been a really cool thing, and it's something that we just realized like we really like kind of got like hooked on it and had to do it. So for writing for us is a really huge thing, and it's really exciting to be able to like share ideas and communicate things with people. We grew up with all sorts of music, whether it was older music. Our father grew up in the 80s, and he brought in a lot of like bands like U2 and The Cure and Joy Division, and what a lot of those bands that brought, you know, especially to us and as musicians as we were growing, is all the melodic choices they were doing, and all like every single instrument has a melody. Especially we feel like in like 80s music and the stuff at least that we knew from the 80s. All the instruments, doesn't matter what it is, everything brought its own melody, everything brought its own part. And I think for us being, you know, a 4-person band and a 4-person, you know, family band, that it's important for all of us to have our voices shared, and that, you know, whether it's through a bass line that I'm doing or a guitar line or the vocals that, you know, we're all singing together or just her, it's important for all of us to just share our hearts with what we're doing.
Being real and honest as a person, really, anyway, is really important to us, because someone's gonna see the real you eventually, so you might as well show it from the start. But it's really important, especially with music, because that's a really good opportunity to be honest. about what you believe in and what you think and your opinions on whatever it is, whether it's just love or, world things. So we really try to be honest with what we do.
Nowadays it is really hard to actually be be real and be honest, just with the way technology in the world's kind of changed. And for us, we feel a big responsibility to, actually be who we are in all ways in life.
I think when you use, different things you put in your body to, like when you're doing a performance or you're doing anything, I think that kind of takes you out of the moment. I think when you're in the moment for especially a live show and you're on stage and you're singing these songs to people, telling your story or just, talking to them really, I think that's important to really be a part of that and be in that moment. And I think we've seen other bands and with other people when they're taking substances, it
takes the moment away.
Yeah, it takes that moment away, and I think it can take a lot of the special aspect in that when you're communicating with someone, because when you're just being you, just yourself, you're really connecting with that person as from your heart to theirs.
Yeah.
That's a very important thing as a musician.
Why wouldn't you want to be there for that moment for them? That's just taking that away from them, and that's not giving them the experience that they deserve.
Straight line, that's not really her style.
My grandpa had a funny saying. He said, "The harder I work, the luckier I get."
Yeah.
And I think it's a good saying, just because people think it's luck, and there's definitely hard work is really important, and if you do it, something's going to come out of it. You don't know when that's going to be. It might be way later on. Some people, they work hard, and the first couple days, something happens. I don't know. Things just happen the way they do. Our thing has always been let's work really hard, let's do our best, and when things are supposed to happen, they'll happen, and they'll happen. And on Warped Tour, we had to work really hard, and that whole tour, we started to see a little bit of return at the end, but I think that us now coming back on Warped Tour, us getting asked to do it again, it was a sign of okay, last year we worked really hard, and it's starting to pay off in some other ways. And if you just work hard and you do your best, one, you're going to enjoy it more because you're putting something into it, and you never know what's going to turn out of it.
I think our main goal that we want to do is obviously keep doing what we're doing. We want to be able to play more shows and get our music out to more people because we believe in our message and this music that we're creating, and we want people to hear that, and we think that people should hear it. I think it's important to us, and we think it would be important to other people as well. And we love that we're getting to create music that people appreciate. We try to be joyful and happy people. We think that's a good thing to share, not only on stage and with our music, but with the words we say and the way we treat other people. We love life. We love that we get to do what we love, and we love people, and we love the beauty in life. There's so many amazing things, and I think with us, we just want to share joy with everything we do. And if we weren't doing music, we'd do that with accounting or teaching school or something like that. But with everything we do, we want to make sure that's our main focus. We're Echo Smith, and music is our natural high. What's yours?